Live from downtown Detroit, Local 4 News at 6 starts now.
A state wetlands violation puts a stop to new home construction in Wayne County for now. Destruction of trees has neighbors very upset in one part of the county, and now the state steps in, issuing a violation for disturbing local wetlands. Glad you're with us for Local 4 News at 6. I'm Devin Skillier.
I'm Kimberly Gill. New housing developments usually aren't popular with the neighbors as construction can be noisy, dusty, and disruptive. People in one Wayne County community called Hawthorne Woods, just southwest of Metro Airport, say a nearby project is causing more than the usual issues.
And that's because it's destroying the reason they bought their homes in the first place, the trees. Local 4 investigator Karen Drew here with the story and a major development that actually occurred a few hours ago, Karen.
Oh, that's right. This is going down in Huron Township. Major development. Some Hawthorne Woods residents contacted us. They were so mad a developer started cutting down a bunch of trees. So we showed up, started asking some questions, and things just didn't seem to make sense. So we contacted the state, and tonight the state just handed the developer a violation notice after what we exposed.
He's back here right now, and it's pretty crazy how this machine works.
Neighbors watch in horror as a machine levels trees in just seconds, leaving nothing but piles of branches and stumps in what used to be a forest.
Every neighbor has shed tears. We just stand there and we look at this carnage that is happening to the woods.
This was a forest. Some of these trees are 100 years old. Like this one back here, I bet is 100 years old.
The neighbors who live next to the woods say this was never supposed to happen. They say this forest is the reason they bought their homes here.
I was drawn to the fact that we kind of still felt like we were out in the country, but we also lived in like a neighborhood, right? And that's what I love most about it. And what's happening right now is the complete opposite of what drew everyone in this neighborhood to move here.
Infinity Homes, which owns the land, says it's been clear for years about its plans to build 43 more homes here. And Infinity says it has all the permits to do so. Oh, not so fast. We went to the state looking for those permits. And guess what? The developer did not have a final issued permit to chop down all those trees. The state showed up yesterday and issued this violation, finding Infinity Homes in violation of Michigan wetland law, citing unauthorized activity, including tree clearing and soil disturbance. Eagle says part of this area where Infinity cut down the trees and moved dirt around is a designated wetland. So for now, at least some of this will have to stop, and Infinity may be fined for destroying wetlands.
Oh my God, yes. This is a place that I looked forward to raising my son.
People who live in Hawthorne Woods Phase 1 say their agreement with Infinity Homes gives them control of the trees, but Infinity Homes says it owns the property and has every right to develop on it. We did reach out to Infinity Homes for comment about the wetlands violation. The company says it stands by its draft permit, not the final issued permit, with Eagle, allowing it to build on the wetlands area. But Eagle says the company does not have a final permit.
So we'll assume this is in court, both sides,
Yeah,
right?
most definitely.
Yes.
Obviously, attorneys on both sides are working on it. Infinity wants to build 43 more homes, and existing neighbors say, you know, they want to save the forest. I have to tell you how hard it was for our team to shoot that video. They came back so upset because they were literally there, and the trees were coming down, and they said, I feel like there's something going on here, but we couldn't stop it in time to get the state involved. So the state says if you have an issue, contact Eagle directly. There's a hotline number, and I'm going to put that on Click on Detroit so people can do that, so we follow the right procedure so this doesn't happen again.
Obviously, we will continue.
But I'll stay on top of this.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, well, yeah. Okay, thanks, Karen. The parents of the Oxford High School shooter are asking the Michigan Supreme Court to hear their case and arguing they aren't at fault for what happened at the school and should never have been charged with involuntary manslaughter. Mark McDonald is at the Oakland County Jail tonight, where the Crumbleys have been housed since they were charged.
Kimberly, the Crumbleys and their attorneys have asked lower courts to intervene in their case and kick these charges which still have them housed here at the Oakland County Jail. Now they're asking the highest court in the state to get involved. They are the first parents to ever be charged in connection with a mass school shooting. The Oakland County prosecutor trying to make the case that their behavior and lack of action directly led to their son gunning down 4 of his classmates and injuring 7 others. Lawyers for the Crumbleys maintain the parents can't be held criminally responsible for their son's actions. In March, the Michigan Court of Appeals said yes, they can stand trial. So now the Crumbleys' lawyers are going to the highest court in the state. The argument? Their son is responsible for what happened here, not them. So now the attorneys for the Crumbleys are headed off to the Michigan Supreme Court and essentially arguing this, that the Crumbleys are not responsible for what their son did. Unclear at this point whether the Supremes will hear the case. We're in Pontiac. I'm Mara McDonald, Local 4.
Seniors living in a Southfield high-rise are frustrated as they say one elevator in their building is broken and the other is down most of the time. Highland Towers on Greenfield Road has 12 stories, so when that elevator goes out, they are either forced to stay at home or take the stairs. Megan Woods live with more. She's been talking to some of the people dealing with the issue. Megan.
And that's right, Devin. So we spoke to people on and off camera who live on the 12th and 7th floor. They wanted to remain anonymous because they're afraid if they speak up that they will be evicted out of their apartment. Now, today, that elevator is working, but people are saying that's part of the problem, that one day it's working, the next it's not, and they're tired of living like this, tired of not knowing, waking up and figuring out, is this the day the elevator is going to work?
I'm scared if I leave out, I'm not going to be able to get back up to my apartment because the elevator's going to be broke.
It's the reality for many of the seniors living here at Highland Towers, especially those with disabilities.
Like one elevator's been out for like 3 months, and the other elevator every other day is going out, which is really bad, and I'm in a wheelchair.
And at this point, they are sick and tired of the unpredictability.
2 weeks ago, it was out Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Luckily, I had food in my apartment.
The company's not trying to do anything. Local management, they're not trying to do anything, you know. And this is ridiculous that they're holding us hostage like this.
So we called.
Thank you for calling Highland Towers. To text with a leasing agent, please press 1.
And we walked in to get some answers. Here's what we saw. One elevator was closed off. And when we talked to the leasing office, they said the manager was off and they had no comment. The city of Southfield says elevators are regulated by the state and the building does have an open permit with the state. And that building management company knows that they have a city inspection scheduled for the end of this month.
And again, we called the property manager, left a voicemail, and you saw us walk in there to get those answers. We also called the property owners and haven't heard back. So we will continue to call and get those answers for those residents so they don't have to still figure out which day the elevator is going to work and that they can go on with their lives. Reporting live in Oakland County, I'm Megan Woods, Local 4.
A tall ask. All right, Megan.
A destructive scene inside a local small business. Police are trying to track down the man who poured a flammable substance on the floor and lit it on fire. This happened at Trademark Liquor on Perry Street in Pontiac. Thankfully, nobody was hurt in this incident. Here's a look at the suspect, whom police say ran to a nearby street and got into a dark 4-door Dodge Ram pickup truck. There's a reward of $5,000 for information leading to an arrest and conviction. The number to call is 1-800-44-ARSON.
Chilly start today, but by the end, it had smoothed out beautifully.
Really nice day. Yeah. Let's check in with Ron Hilliard and our forecast.
It's been beautiful out there, Kimberly and Devin. We are seeing those temperatures right now in the lower to mid 60s. People downtown, they're rollerblading. They're out there playing basketball. Very nice weather, 65 in Adrian. So let's take a look at the exact track 4D radar. We are quiet right now, but as we zoom on out, you see where that rain is. It's up in Wisconsin and now approaching western portions of the UP. That is going to sweep into our area, but it's still about a day away. It's going to come tomorrow afternoon, bringing us some showers and maybe even some thunderstorms. So tonight, things are clear, they're calm. We're going to go into the nighttime hours, very similar with the sky conditions. It's going to be mostly clear, temperatures falling down into the mid-50s. Finally, overnight, we'll see some of those temperatures in the upper 40s. We're going to talk a little bit more about what we can expect over the weekend. Right now, if you want to track those rain showers that are headed our way, you can go ahead and download the Forewarn Weather app. You can get the accurate forecast as well as you can get the neighborhood forecast for your exact community. All you have to do is just look for WDIV in the App Store